This episode of Behind the Mindset is brought to you by We Supply Trades. For more info, visit wesupplytrades.com.
We Supply Trades has what you need, when and where you need it. Thousands of plumbing, HVAC electrical components, hydronics, PEX, tools, and lighting products in stock and shipped fast. Our vast selection of name brand and 33 brands products are trusted by contractors, installers, and technicians alike. We've got everything you need to keep your projects on track and on budget. Our team is made up of former trade pros who know what you need because we've been there too. We Supply Trades understands urgency. That's why our goal is to be your #1 online partner. Trust We Supply Trades because experience matters. Visit wesupplytrades.com today.
Awesome, man. Hey, dudes, thanks so much for being here, for meeting me here. We are in an undisclosed location in Costa Mesa. Costa Mesa, California. So I've only been here one other time. Yeah, it was for some church event. Calvary Chapel's real big in this area.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I used to attend Calvary Chapel in Arizona. Okay. So yeah, big fan. But yeah, clearly I forgot who I was meeting up with because I underdressed.
There you go.
Had I thought about it, I would have wore a suit.
Yeah,
it's all good.
No worries.
I didn't even think about it.
You look good, comfy.
I am.
Right?
Well, I got off a plane this morning, so yeah, I'm very comfy. That's the idea.
What are you doing down here?
I came down here with a friend and just checking out some stuff, and then I was like, well, while I'm here, I'm going to do some podcasts and.
Didn't know you were gonna go. Wasn't sure if you were gonna go chase Mickey around or anything like that.
No,
you know,
I'm not a Disney. I'm not a Disney fan.
I'm not either.
My kids are.
Yes.
I am not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, or maybe it's fortunately.
Yeah. How old are your kids now?
Oh man, my oldest just turned 16, so she's driving now. So, and then 14, 12, and 9.
Oh, that's great ages.
Yeah, man. So,
great ages. Right now you're starting to get into those high school teenager years.
I have 2 high schoolers this year. So one's a sophomore, one's a freshman.
Yeah.
So you also have 4 kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 2 older.
3. 3. 5.
Oh, you have 5.
Yeah. So I got Cole, Corinne. Those are my 2 older kids. I'm gonna get this wrong. 25 and 23, and then I have Brooklyn, 7. KJ, Keith Jr., he is 4, turns 5 on Thursday. And then Melania, she is about 1.5.
Oh, I didn't know you had a 5th one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
A year and a half late on that, but.
Yeah. And she is all trouble. She's like, the 3rd child. I think they're the toughest and strongest, most strong-willed. Last night I was giving them baths and my son took something from her and she just grabbed him by the hair and would not let go. And yeah.
You know, it's funny. The parent that you are for the first kids is not the same parent that you are for the last kid. No. Funny how that works.
Yeah. And, in my situation, I got such a wide range, right? We get from 25 all the way down to 1.5. Well, people always go, dude, how you do it? I'm enjoying this ride. Like my older kids, I enjoyed the ride, trust me, but I was in a different state of mind. I was like always gone, always this, always that. Now I'm like, when there's time, I literally, like, my kids do Muay Thai, Taekwondo, soccer, baseball, swim lessons, tennis, golf. You name it. My wife has them in everything, and any chance I get, I go and I'm able to go check that out. Now my 2 older ones, it was just on the weekends because I was working so much. The trades. Like, yeah. Back then, out there in the field hustling. I owned my companies, but it was still always hustling. I was always putting out fires and stuff. So, but I do enjoy it. And then, like, my older kids, my daughter still lives with us. We have like an in-laws quarters, so she has her own little separate area. And then my son lives up the street from us, which is great. But like we have Sunday dinners, mandatory. I don't care what my kids are doing. You got to come and you just hang out. And it's just a family day where we just hang out. And last night I was just telling you, we moved and now we have a dock and everything. And it was the first time we all went swimming in the ocean and kind of like hung out. My oldest son came over, Cole, and he was just like, the two little ones wanted to jump in the water, but Dad was like being too chicken. It was too cold. And next thing I know, he walks down the dock and just dives right in. And so then everybody was swimming. So it's great. I love it. I love kids.
Yeah, kids are amazing, man. You're a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
I think I've made a comment before about how young you look for being older. How do you feel about having such a young kid at an older age?
Well, where I live, Newport Beach, it's pretty much the status quo. Like it's like all the dads were all about the same age. So like if it was my hometown, totally different.
Which is from where?
Dixon, a little town up north by Sacramento. Because when you graduate high school, like you get married, have kids right away. There's like no stutter stepping. It's just that's what it is.
Well, culture teaches us that.
Yeah, and you're in a little farm town, ranch town. That's just kind of how it was. And here it feels like people go through college and then they get more established, and dads are later ages.
Sure.
So I don't know. I love it. I love it. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm at a point in my life where I can enjoy this ride.
For sure. It doesn't last long.
No. You don't realize how fast it goes. Like,
yeah, there was a guy I ran into at a gas station, and he was putting his kid in the car seat, and just cute kid, I love that age, but like between 2 to 5 probably. Yep. And I just looked at him, man, and I was like, dude, enjoy this because it doesn't last long. And he just looked at me. He's like, thanks, man. So
it's kind of cool. My dad's 83, and my mom always has to yell at him because my dad is the guy that like walks up to little kids all the time. Hey, how you doing? Like, what's your name? And my mom's like, this day and age, you can't do that anymore. Don't stop. They're gonna think you're gonna kidnap them or something. Like, and my dad,
candy.
Yeah. And like they were down recently. I had them come down, and that my dad was telling me all these stories. He's like, yeah, people look at me funny. I'm like, yeah, it's just a weird age or a weird era in our lives right now. So.
Yeah, especially when people are normalizing that nonsense,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's just okay. No, don't get me started.
Yeah. We're on the same page there.
What was I going to say? So I a lot of people on social media in the trade, in and out of the trade, will kind of know who you are and your social media presence, but maybe they don't know too much about your history in the trade, right? Because like, you and Tersh are probably the only guys I know running around in suits that are actually still doing some work, right? Or putting tools in your hands and actually still doing something. I remember one time I went to a job site. I came from a networking meeting and I had a blazer on. And so I was, dressed somewhat nice, and I went there for an estimate, and I apologized to him for overdressing for the occasion because he's like, what is this guy doing? Like, who shows up to your house for an HVAC gig, right? And has got a blazer on or a suit or, and I know that you don't wear $300 suits. Like,
no.
It's obvious the sheen on these things is there. But, so let's talk about where you come from, right? Humble beginnings.
Yep.
And then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So, started off in the trades, 12, 13 years old. My brother-in-law, Matt, got me into the trades. He wanted to he was doing a side job. Everybody's done side jobs growing up. And he needed some help. And here I am, young kid, and he tells me, hey, you want to come help me on the weekend? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I ride my bicycle over. We go over to this guy's house. He throws me underneath the crawl space and tells me, pull out all the ductwork. And I'm yanking everything out, don't know what I'm really doing. Then I come out and it's all pulled out, and he tells me, all right, this is how you hook ducts back up. I go back under there and hook it up. It was a small job. I'm guessing probably 6 runs, whatever. And that catapults me where I'm at. I literally fell in love with the trades at that point in time. I was young. The next day I ride my bicycle over to his house. He goes into his freezer and pulls out, a stack of cash, and he counts off $200 to me and hands me over $200. I'm, 12, 13 years old. goes, here you go. Next thing I know, I'm like telling him, when can I do it again? And after that, it was just, I fell in love. So I kind of went through the trades with my family business, left the family business, went on to work for a guy named Lou Snavely. He was a general manager of Dial One Service Experts up in Auburn, California. And kind of
when about was this?
It was probably 20. He told me I can make, a couple $100,000 a year being an installer. I go back, tell the family, and they're like, there's no way.
No way.
There's no way. You're going to make 60 to 80. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm going to give it a shot. Well, the guy gives me a sign-on bonus. The next month, I'm buying my first house because I get the sign-on bonus. But the first day of work, I tell the guy, look, I want, back then it was like $30 an hour. And he goes, you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And so he had me do a ride-along my first day. And I did 2 package units that day for this senior lead guy. And he just sat in his truck. And he
did all the work.
I did all the work. And he came out and checked on it. He goes, cool, let's go back. I go, we're done for the day? He goes, you want to do another one? I'm sure. It was like noon. So we go and pick up another unit. We go out and start another one and come back. He goes, dude, you just made me $2,400 today. And I'm like, what? So the next morning I marched into Lou's office and I said, Lou, don't listen to me. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I want to be on that piecework thing that you got going on over here. So after that, it was kind of history. And Lou took me under his wing, for years and kind of taught me a lot. Taught me how to sell, taught me how to just develop my skills and basically getting out of my comfort zone. So, then I started my first company at 28, did very well with that one. And then just kept on going bigger and bigger and bigger. And next thing I know, fast forward, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 companies later, 5 companies later. One company I didn't do so well with. I had, a bad falling out 5 years ago.
It happens.
Which, I take it as a learning experience.
100%.
And, a lot of people, man, that was a bad breakup and this and that and the other thing. I said, dude, look where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Like, literally, look where I'm at now.
Well, had you not gone through that, you wouldn't be where you are today.
100%. I would have thought I was still chasing that great big deal that I thought I had there. And if it wasn't for, I got to give a lot of praise to my wife. If it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have crumbled and went to work for somebody else and just kind of like, but she was like, you're meant for something bigger. Like you have ideas that you want to get out there, just go after it. Stop messing around. And
right.
So I did. And, I opened up HG Home Services. I still have HVAC God Inc., where coach and train. I hate calling it guru or whatever the hell you want to call it. But the difference between me and everybody else that's out there is I've done it. Like, that's what I try and engrave that. That's why I don't call myself a guru or a coach or anything like that. It's literally just, if you need some help, call me. Hit me up on social media. I'll help you. And there's so many people that know this about me.
Right.
They hit me up asking me, whether it's, a plumbing company, a window washing company, it doesn't matter. People can hit me up and here's my number. I'll give you an hour. And I've had guys show up to my office. I've done it all in this trade. Win, lose, or draw, I've done it, been there, and I know my stuff now, and I'm at a different place. Like, I got to give a big shout out to my guy, Andrew. He's the one that custom does all my suits. So he always laughs because there's photos and videos. People think I'm just going out there and posing on a job or something like, oh, this guy's in a suit.
Sure.
Nah, man, I don't mind getting dirty. Now, I'll go up in an attic in a suit and stuff like that, but I don't do the physical stuff that much anymore. But if I need to prove a point and show them, hey, look, I can still do this.
Right. But you're not belly crawling through insulation with a suit on.
No,
I get it.
But, it's just one of those things. Practice what you preach. And years ago, when I was working for this, massive company, we made a mandate where all the upper management team had to wear ties every day. And I kind of fell in love with that because my grandfathers came over here. They wore a suit and tie every day. Whether it was a Saturday, Sunday, work week, they were wearing suit and ties.
Where are they from?
Italy and Mexico.
Okay.
So they literally, I feel like set the path for me when it comes to suits. Because where I grew up, everybody's Wranglers and cowboy boots, just the normal thing.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And so when I went to work for this big corporation, I call those my college years, we had to wear suit and ties every day. And, I'm scrambling around, throwing on, whatever I could get off the rack. And I kind of started liking it because it showed, if you look good, feel good, that whole mentality. But also the respect is it's a little different. And even to this day, I go to a local restaurant 2-3 times a week, and I walk in, and it's called Gulfstreams. I walk in, and people know me there now, and it's not just the staff. It's people, like, we were recently at a party, me and my wife, and they're like, this guy's, I know you from somewhere. I don't know where I know you from. And he's like, do you go to Gulfstream? I go there a couple times a week, and he's like, you're the guy that always wears a beautiful suit, huh? And I'm like, but it's funny because
there's worse things to be known for.
Yes, but it's funny because everybody wants to be Zuckerberg now.
Sure.
They want the T-shirt and jeans. I deal with some PE guys, VC guys, and they want to be the T-shirt and jeans guy. But a lot of people don't realize those T-shirt and jeans. That's probably $10,000, the same amount as my suits. It's like, but I feel like it's just an old school respect thing, and we lost it in our society. We really have. I met with a big firm the other day, and I was wearing a suit and tie, and I don't wear ties that often anymore. But these guys that I met with, they're at such a level where that's mandatory for their entire team. And I'm talking, the largest PE firm in the world, and they literally, that's every day, and it shows that's still out there. There's still a need for it. It just, these younger generations just don't see it.
Well, and for them too, right? It shows them that, hey, you came to play ball.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I totally feel it's a respect thing. I hold open doors for women. We lost that.
For sure.
I don't know what's happened. Why we think it's okay. It's just,
well, men aren't men anymore, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's,
you heard it. You heard me.
Yeah, that's definitely it. And there are some good. It's how you're brought up.
Yeah, for sure.
It's how you're raised. If I see my son acting like an idiot in a certain way around people, I'm like, dude, you're carrying my name. Respect the name. That's it. And so, and I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not perfect. It's just, I think that we need to get back to that. I really do, as a society. I know I don't want to go down that path, but it's like we've lost it, and it's huge. I came in here to this studio a while back, and I met with the guys, and I know who owns it, and I'm like, right off the bat, you heard him. Mr. GQ just walked in, and because I wear a suit every day. It's just that's my now it's my calling card.
It's your trademark. Yeah.
Yeah, I wore this one for you. Look, this is a Cowboys. It's like Texas style.
Yeah, Texas themed. Yeah,
that's Texas themed. So, anyways, yeah, that's the evolution of me, and then I could go into details, but the gist of it is I saw a need, and that's what we're here talking about, is I saw a need in the trades for something more, not a fancy thermostat, not something that can detect water going off, and it's just an old school float switch or something that shuts the unit off and sends the signal to an app or something like that. I saw a need 9 years ago. Tried to do it back then. Wasn't able to, only because
I don't think the industry was even ready for something like that.
Wasn't ready, and also the affordability wasn't there.
We should probably back up too,
Yeah.
because anybody who's listening isn't going to know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't know, well, you're about to know. Let's freaking go.
Home Guardian, a lot of people that follow me on social know about Home Guardian now. Home Guardian is, think about your car. I don't know what you're driving these days, but think about your car. Your car has a dashboard that tells you right front tires going out, rear turn signals out, 20% on your oil. Guess what? Now you're getting Mercedes-Benz. Like I'm just using that. My wife drives a Mercedes, and they'll call her and say what's going on with their car, telling her real-time diagnostics. Your quarter tank of gas, you want to drive from here, to LA, and you got $10 in your pocket, you're not going to do it because you don't have enough money, you don't, whatever it is, and you don't have enough fuel. So why would you do it? What is there at your home that does that for you? That tells you before your air conditioner goes out, that tells you before your roof leaks, that tells you, what your utility bills are real time, what's consuming the most, what your water quality is. That's my favorite one. It's what your water quality is real time.
So what you're saying is the Home Guardian is beyond HVAC.
It's not just HVAC.
Okay.
It started out as HVAC. I wanted a fuel gauge on the wall that told people efficiency of their air conditioner, SEER rating, right? And we had a challenge with a client years ago, and this is how it kind of all got brought up. The client told me, hey, I'm going to buy your $30,000 system, but your tech out here is telling me it's I think it was a 19 SEER or whatever. How do I know it's a 19 SEER? Like, it says it on the yellow tag, And he goes, well, I'm an engineer. How do I know in 3 months it's going to be that? So it says it on the yellow tag. Like, here I'm stumped. 30 years in the industry, over 30 years, and I'm kind of stumped. I'm like trying to explain it. And I know how they get it, but there's nothing real time to tell you that and keep it going.
Well, and that number is going to change on any given day, any temperature, right? Like, there's what I've come to realize is SEER rating is a crap number.
Yep.
Right. And and of course, an engineer would ask you some ridiculous thing like that, right?
But I've had a couple clients ask me over the years, how do I know what I'm getting? We tell them match up, and usually it's okay. So the guy bought it anyways. He goes, look, I'm not going to not buy the system, but I just want to know how you guys do it. I go, well, you can pay us, we'll come out every couple months and we can send somebody and figure it out for you. But because no. But that's stuck in my head. Why don't we have a fuel gauge? Like miles per gallon on the wall for a client.
How many sensors are involved?
Oh, God.
To do that? I mean,
for just that?
Well, you got pressure sensors, temperature sensors, right?
Yep,
you have superheat, subcool, outdoor, ambient.
So our systems are set up with nodes. We just call them nodes. And to capture all that information for the air conditioning and heating, we have two nodes, one on the air handler, one on the outdoor unit. Those two nodes can tell us all that. Plus, we can tell temp splits, of course, static pressure we're figuring out, airflow we're figuring out. We're figuring out all these different things. It goes on and on. Amp draws, startup draws, like all that type of stuff. So we can send alerts real time to you, the contractor, of what's going on with the system, diagnose it, and we can also send it real time to the homeowner at the same time. Plus, they have a dashboard, just like the car, like I was telling you about, on their wall that tells them what's going on with their home. And if there's any alerts, the dashboard changes and you can walk up to it and see what's going on. But at that same time, you're getting a call from your contractor. Your contractor is going to be reaching out to you and saying, hey, this is going on. Yeah, I got an alert on my app too. I spilled something underneath the sink, so that's why you got water issues underneath the sink. Or no, I didn't know something was flooding underneath my sink.
Sure.
Let me take a look at it. Because if you look at where everybody went wrong, I feel, is we try to do these sensors years ago and over the past few years, very basic, very old school, like
two prongs, touch water. Yeah,
we're not doing that. We're reading real time humidity, outdoor, indoor, and at the spot. And with AI and machine learning, it starts understanding. It starts telling you, hey, when there's a major problem, or hey, when there's something needs to be checked, or even your static pressure. Now you don't have a timer telling you when to change your filter.
Sure.
It tells you, hey, this is what's happening.
It's
time.
Yeah.
And you can the contractor will reach out to you when it goes red. If it's yellow, they won't reach out to you. But if it's red, they're going to reach out to you and say, hey, do you want us to come out and change it, or do you want it drop shipped? And you can walk up to it before the contractor calls, either on your app or on the dashboard, touch it and say, drop ship it to my door. And the filter will be sent to their door, and no harm, no foul. But it's saving you, the contractor, so much time of just terrible calls. Like how many times
you're rolling a truck for no reason.
For no reason. And it could be humidity, like float switcher
you're like, you didn't turn the switch on.
The dumbest stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a retention hub too. So now, like, this just happened to us. HG Home Services does water filtration. We do tanklesses and stuff. And we did a HVAC system for this client's house. And 6 months later, we're out there doing our service, and my technician notices they got a brand new tankless and a water filtration system. Why didn't you call us? Oh, you guys do heating and air? We knew you did heating and air. We didn't know you did, these services too. And I'm like, God, if we would have put Home Guardian in, as soon as they needed anything for the home. So you're talking garage doors, roofing, pools, all the way down to TVs, pool pumps, water filtration, HVAC, electrical, you name it. It's all going to one hub. That hub sends a signal up to the cloud disperses it to your contractor, whoever installed it. Now, how that's going to work for the big players out there that don't do roofing or don't do plumbing, you build a network, because even for your company, I'm sure you have a network of roofers that you need to go patch a roof or something. So now you go and sit down with that roofing company and go, look, if I send you leads, what's it worth to you? Because I'm going to get leads.
Yeah. I guess I was looking at it from a different perspective of like you as the owner of Home Guardian or this service, right? Now you can turn around and say, hey, Mr. Roofer, you can basically be the roofer for these boxes in your zip code or whatever, right, for X amount of dollars.
Yeah, and we've went down that path a little bit, but we're going direct to market to the contractor. We're not selling this to the homeowners directly. We're going directly to the contractors. So the contractors, and we're going to HVAC, plumbing, electrical contractors. We're going directly to those guys, and those guys, I won't tell you the names of the players that I've talked with, but they're huge in the industry. And what they were saying is they would like to put it on every install and no charge. I'm sure they're going to tie it into the.
You have to.
Well, it's not as expensive as you think.
Okay.
So they're going to tie it into every install. And that way now they're connected as a retention hub forever with that.
So it reminds me similar on a much more basic level, right? Like Lennox came out with their iComfort thermostat, and it would flash an error code, sends an alert over to the dealer as long as you registered that particular thermostat with your dealer hub, if you will, right? So very similar is what it sounds like.
Something like that.
Is this whole thing out yet? I know I've seen you talk about it on social media, but is it out?
We have 25 getting ready to get sent out right now. We have a couple in R&D. We have one in my house, one in the engineer's house, and we had 15 out in investors' homes and so forth, just testing, and now we're production ready. So the official launch was like a month ago, because that's when we really started talking about it, because we knew we have these 25 that are ready to go. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but dealing with hardware and software, everybody I've talked to through these past 4 years has that, what are you doing? Why would you ever try and attempt this? And I see why. It's been a
undertaking for sure.
Yeah, 90% of my time is Home Guardian. And we have countless engineers on staff that just are the best of the best. Everything's being built here in the U.S., so that was a undertaking just on its own. But I'm going to the blue collar guys, so I want to make sure, what are we? We're red, white, and blue. Blue collar guys is where it's at. So the product itself, our official, like what we're trying to show is that homeowners have the capability of having complete control of their home. We're not controlling a thermostat. Now, our dashboard, I made a shift about 2 months ago. If you want to opt in as a thermostat, you can use it as a thermostat. If not, don't worry about it. You can keep your Nest. You can keep your Honey. You can keep whatever you have out there on the wall. But other than that, we're literally just giving you information to make proactive ability to be proactive with your maintenances, your service. You can start budgeting. You can tell people like, hey, your air conditioner's doing this, this, and this. I don't have a crystal ball, but it's looking like, and within the next 6 months, you need to start thinking about this. Or garage door openers, they start overamping, with AI built in and machine learning, it starts figuring it out over time. The greatest part of this project is we're literally going to market sub $2,000. So you think about Crestron, Control4, Savant.
Yep.
What are those installed with the wiring?
I don't even know, but I know I only see that stuff in high-end homes.
$250,000 to $500,000.
Jeez.
Right? We're sub 2,000. Those don't do any of this. Those don't tell you what your water quality is in your home. Like you're drinking. I can tell you what your water quality is. And Glenn over at Halo's like just jazzed about this because he wants to team up. Being able to tell people what their air quality. So our air quality sensors are insane. They're, you can't really see, but they're probably like 5 inches by 4 inches, but they have built-in fans inside. Because normally when you have air quality sensors, it's an air quality sensor that sits right here on this table, and if the air's not moving, it's not doing anything, guess what? It's stagnant air. So what this thing's doing is sucking in air and then blowing it out the other side so it can get air coming across and getting real information for you. Everything we have is wireless, and a lot of people go, "Oh, wireless is never going to connect." Blah blah blah. Our stuff we can connect up to 4,000 nodes, which you'll never do inside a home. But a commercial building or a giant home, maybe 850 feet away, we stay connected. It's not Bluetooth, it's not Wi-Fi. It's just are using a different technology that we can keep connected. Because that was one of my biggest things.
Like Zigbee or.
It's called Z-Wave Long Range. A lot of people think Z-Wave, it's garbage, don't it? No, this is something new, Z-Wave Long Range. All we're doing is basically have these nodes, like I said, 850 feet away, and they're sending a signal back to the base station, and the base station goes up to the cloud and then feeds out. My biggest part of this project was like coming into it, I told my engineers like, hey, I hate when I walk into my home and I have no signal. Bluetooth drops out, Wi-Fi drops out, whatever it is. And you could be in a 1,200 square foot home and it just drops out. This is my big pet peeve, my biggest pet peeve. So when the first, hiccup, because like I said, hardware and software is not easy. We went down a path for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years of doing LoRa network. A lot of people don't know what the LoRa network is, but it's something that is a national internet that is basically it's like 2G. Nobody uses it because you can't stream music or anything like that. Long story short, we figured out that that's the way to go. Let's do it. We can stay connected a mile away, subterranean, through concrete, water, didn't matter. And when I put it in the hands of some other engineers, they're like, this is great. This technology, everything you got is great. Now, scalability, what are you trying to do with scale? And kind of went down that path, and they were like, this is never going to work. You're not going to, once you get 5,000 to 10,000 people on this thing, you're going to have to rebuild a whole nother network and do it over again and then do it. I'm like.
And this is why it pays to have experts on the team, right?
Yeah, so then we had to shift, and that's when we shifted to this because I had to have that connectivity where it's super simple. And to install this thing, it's literally scan a QR code, drop a node here, scan a QR code, drop a node there. The battery life is about 3 years. I wanted 10 years on the battery lives of these nodes, but that's another couple million.
I feel like they don't even make batteries like they used to.
No.
I feel like batteries leak way easier today than they ever did. Like, think back to when you were a kid. I never had battery acid in any of my toys or guns or whatever, right? Like, now it's like you leave something in there for 12 months and the battery's like, you open it up and it's just like acid everywhere.
Well, it's like the car thing. You think about it. Cars aren't built the way they were.
Not at all.
You still see 55s rolling around. They were putting themselves out of business, and that's, I think, the battery, a lot of things. But yeah, so we were trying to figure out where we didn't have to have homeowners or technicians go back and change out batteries too often. So we found a battery that we really like, and it's a 3-year battery, and Eventually, I'll do a 10-year battery on these things. But you name it, whatever you want monitored in your home, we cover it, and it's no joke. Our stuff is no joke. It is going to take over, and a lot of people are fearful of change and all that stuff.
For sure,
you got to change. Like, I love being on this podcast because you have the younger generation guys here listening to this, because I get a lot of heat all the time. Oh, HVAC got this, and I'm like, guys, I'm open. I am an open book. Like, you want to know something about me, ask. But we always have to be evolving. You get a lot of old timers that don't see like this whole product, or going up in SEER,
tools in general.
Yeah,
I mean, I make a video on tools, and people are like, "I'll use my trusty flare block. It's been trusted. I've been using it for 30 years." And it's like, so what I'm hearing you say is, we'll just never innovate anything because, well, we just keep doing it the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
You know? That's the worst mentality in the history of ever.
Think about this. Like, so depending on the size of your company, you usually have a service manager, and the service manager can sit back and now look at a board that's basically integrated with Service Titan, Field Pulse, Field Edge, and it's telling you what is coming up. So you might have a compressor that's on startups, drawn high amps over, Millie's house over here is having some challenges. 4th of July is coming up. Let's get a technician out there ahead of time. She knows it. We all know it. Let's get somebody out there so she doesn't have to pay some overtime, or, it's going to be a heat wave. Let's go and at least talk to her and tell her what's going on. Maybe we can put a hard start kit in, something like that. It's giving you full transparency. And think about, like, the biggest thing in your life that you're going to purchase, well, most people, is your home. What's your home tell you?
Nothing.
You can have, like, I go on these forums that's like tinkerers, and they have, like, they're trying to put this thing to this thing and this thing to this thing, and all of a sudden there's an update, everything's gone.
Start over.
Yeah. We are able to do everything real-time updates. You won't even know it. Like, when on your app on your phone, currently, like, Apple does an update, you got to go in there and check the box and do the update. You won't even know it. Like, this is seamless. We have built and I got to say, it's sexy as hell, a sexy ass,
that's important, man,
dashboard that people are going to go, wow, what is that? And that was my point with it. It's not a round, like, looking thermostat. It's not a square thermostat. It's not even a thermostat, but it's not an iPad on the wall. It's basically 2 iPhones butted together, and that's the size of it. And I feel like this is what the industry needs to get us, and when I say industry, I always talk about the HVAC industry, to get us to another level. There's some cool stuff out there right now, but I've pretty much bought everything out on the market, and nothing compares. It's old school technology. It's
Sure.
not really updatable, that type of stuff. And what I did originally with this project was I took all our tools, because originally it was focused around heating and air. I went to Field Pulse, went to all these places, Navac, and I basically handed engineers all our tools. And I said, look, here's all our tools. Figure out how to condense these into some nodes so I can leave behind for a decent price. That's all. That was how the project really started. And kind of hemmed and hawed and tried to figure it out, and we made it. I mean, 4 years later, we're here, and it's been a remarkable journey. It's been a lot of headache. I've been on both sides of the table on helping, PE guys buying companies, or I've been selling companies, and this time I'm on neither side, and I'm like got my tin cup out, and I was running around shaking that thing, and I don't know how many trips. I love my wife for it. I'm flying out tonight to Boulder. And it's one of those things that I never thought I would have to go and, shake a tin cup. But now we're at a point where now they're coming to me. It's a totally different game now. When it was like, the patents and so forth, and we had, a very basic, primitive, a proof of concept, I'd show people and I love it. call me later on down the line when you're closer to it. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, here we go. And I think that's the hardest part of being an entrepreneur for a tech startup is the no's. The no's. Everybody gets it. Everybody understands it. Everybody loves it.
Go
and
back
then,
to the sales antics, right? It's like for every no, you're one step closer to a yes.
yeah, and then it started cracking where we started getting a lot of yeses on having HG Home Service, since we handle a lot of very high-end, high net worth individuals. Flood the house, flooded. Got one guy who was like, my house just flooded. I wish somebody would come up with something that would preemptively tell me this is going to happen and so forth. And, one of my guys was like, oh, you should talk to Keith. He's working on something. Next thing I know, those people are sitting in my office.
Well, I mean, that's how it happens, right?
Yeah.
I've been saying for years that, your home is the most expensive asset that the average person buys, right? And it's the only thing that doesn't come with a freaking user manual, right? Like, I think it's super important for you to know where your breaker panel is, what breakers do what, where your water shut off for the house is. Like, if you're flooding something in your house, do you want to wait for a plumber to show up 45 minutes to an hour later, or would you rather just walk out to the side of the house and shut the valve off?
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Like, I cannot believe Apple, Google, any of these guys haven't put it together. Like, none of them do. None of them have them. They have little bits and pieces.
Well, they're going to do it when they come in and buy your product.
Yeah. That's why we got very good patents and international patents. But we literally, we have the pathway to market. That's what sets us apart.
Yeah.
Steve Morse, I don't know if you know him, Dynamic Air Solutions, he's the president. They sell about $50 million a year just in UV light bulbs. He's an investor, but he's the connector. He sells to the biggest of big and all the PE-backed ones and independents. And when he overheard this conversation, he was like, how do I invest? I'm like, oh, I'm not ready yet. Oh, how do I invest? I'm not taking investors yet. Oh, how? It's like
He's
literally.
like, hell you're not.
I know, yeah. So we have the pathway to market. Think about this. Our industry is insane. It is so big. Like the first guy I approached, the first engineer I approached, he goes, I tell him what my thoughts were. I was sitting on a panel for a board for another startup company, and it has air to water. Anyways, long story short, I kind of tell him about it, what I'm doing or what I want to do. Now, this is like at the beginning. And he was like, heating and air conditioning? Dude, I built license plate recognition. I've done this. I've done that. Is that heating and air? Like, all right, whatever. Then he calls me a few weeks later and goes, did you know it's a $90 billion industry? I go, it's bigger than that, but yeah. He's all right, let's figure this out. So, but again, so as I meet all these different engineers, they're very smart. They're very technical, but they can't communicate, right, for one. That's why they're engineers, and they can be very technical. But they also, like inventors are the same way. They don't know, they can invent something, but then they don't have the pathway to market.
Correct.
So I had the idea, had the drawings that like, hey, this is what I want to do, and I got the pathway to market. And that's what really set me apart from everything. And, currently right now it's, the pathway to market is going directly to the contractors because the contractors want a retention hub. Because what's it cost you to keep a client, let alone go out and capture a client and then hold on to that client? Because everybody else will go and put their new sticker over that and do this, that, and the other thing. This is a true retention hub. There's nothing out there like that can keep your contractor and your homeowner completely connected. It's not me in the middle going, hey, let me dispatch this contractor over here. Let me dispatch this. No, this is your client that you got. And that's why a lot of these contractors want to just give them out because they want to retain that client forever. And guess what? PEs love that retention. So if you're thinking about building up and you want to sell to a PE and you can show them, hey, yeah, I got a maintenance contract with this client. Maintenance contracts are great, but you do lose a lot of them.
For sure.
Because you might not perform, whatever. This is telling, and you can attach this to your warranty of your equipment. You can attach it to the warranty of anything. It's telling the homeowner just real-time information. Again, I can't stop. Cars tell you everything nowadays. So the analogy of, driving to LA from here and you only got a quarter and tank of gas. Now, if you're budgeting, I won't talk about my house because my wife's, that's the one thing we disagree on because my utility bill at my house. But if you're budgeting, say your utility bill is $300 a month, that's all you want to spend. Have you ever been able to budget for that? No. Normally what you do is you get your utility bill and you pay it. Said it's $700. Shit, we use the air conditioner a lot. Whatever it is, like people don't realize, like now you can budget for it. It's because with AI and machine learning, it's going to start telling you, you put in $300 a month. You get to the 20th and you're at $250. It's going to start telling you, hey, don't use this so much. Don't use this. Maybe raise your temperature to this, like that type thing. That's what you want to know. Middle America can't budget anything. So that's why the price point, I know I can sell this for a lot more. I'll have less clients, but I can sell it for a lot more. But I want it for everybody. This is like something that everybody needs in their home because now you can start budgeting for the new roof. You can start budgeting for the new air conditioner. You can budget for everything. And
no matter the house and no matter the equipment, whether it's a single stage, 2-stage, variable speed, doesn't matter. Communicating doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It can all be integrated.
We're agnostic. We're Switzerland. That's where everybody else goes wrong. You got Linux, like you said.
Yeah, Linux is Linux, right? Carriers, Infinity, it's like, they lock it down. It's all proprietary.
We don't care. We want to be Switzerland. We're agnostic. Like garage door openers. Like we can monitor garage door openers. I don't care if whatever, I don't know the names of the garage door openers, but there's so many different ones out there, but we want to be able to tell people, because I don't know if you've ever had like springs go out or a motor go out and then you're stuck in the garage. Well, if my wife gets stuck in the garage, I'm going to get hell for that. If she's trying to go to drop a kid off at, swim lessons or something like that, knowing that is huge.
Well, typically like garage door motors in general, right? Like when they start to go out, they start making a lot of noise, right? They're probably over amping when that happens. And so, if you have something that can catch that. Now, if you pop a spring, maybe that's a all of a sudden thing, but.
Yeah, but we also started looking at that sometimes when you're popping springs, and I'm no garage door expert, so your motor are starting to over amp because the springs are going out, is what I was told. It could be completely off, but
I'm sure some garage door guys are going to fact check us.
Yeah. Let them go fact check us. But there's so many different opportunities with this. I'm not reinventing the wheel. It's been out there. Just everybody's had their own little tidbits of it,
Sure.
And now I brought it all together, and bringing it all together for a small amount, as well as the ease of use. Like to install it, you're talking max 2 hours. We're trying to get it under an hour. But now the power monitoring, you got to open up the panel and then put some stuff in there. So that's where it takes a little longer. And like my house, I have 3 panels. I have a 400 amp panel and then 2 200 amp panels in it. So that took a little longer for us to do. But there's certain things that I feel it's a necessity. Like there's a starter pack basically, and it can do any size home. My house, I don't want. My house is a bigger house. I'm not. It can do my entire house with the starter pack. So now moving forward, if you want to add, like if you have a newborn baby and you want to monitor strictly the air quality coming out in that room, great. You can add a node. Nodes are going to be, 2 packs are going to be $45. Very simple. And you can keep on adding nodes as much as you want. Up to 4,000 nodes, of course. But again, nobody's going to monitor.
At 4,000 at 45?
But commercial buildings is where I really see that. But for me, like one of the things I want to start monitoring is my boat. So I live on the water. I'm not trying to brag, but I want to put a node in my boat, so if it's taking on water all of a sudden,
for sure,
I can know humidity, or I can know the temp, so if it ever freezes, which down here it doesn't freeze, but it's one of those things, like there's so many different applications, and our stuff is, I feel it's bulletproof, and again, sexy as hell. Like
I'll be the judge of that.
there's nothing out on the market right now that remotely looks close to what we have. Even our nodes. Our nodes, we have designers, engineers, everybody that has went above and beyond to redo. My original ones were like very off the shelf looking, and
You got to start somewhere.
yeah, but I should have thought more outside the box. I thought, the big thinking was what I was currently doing at the time. And then I handed it over to some other engineers, and they're like, oh, no. And they were younger guys, so that's what I loved it. And our current group of guys I love. So like on my team, I went outside the industry. We'll talk about that. So I have Mark Katz. He's the CEO was the CEO, retired, of Burlington, the clothing manufacturer or store. He took him to an IPO in 2021. You can fact check me on that, but he was the CFO. Ran it from 2014 to 2021, retired. That's a Wall Street guy, big time. Their stock is like a Disney stock. You wouldn't think that of Burlington, but it used to be Burlington coat.
Mm-hmm.
You say that to him. You say that to him, he gets pissed because that was his big thing.
I don't.
He dropped the coat.
Yeah, I say Burlington Coat Factory.
Yeah. He dropped the coat because he said it the first time he took over. He walked in and he goes, "We don't even have coats in here.
Yeah.
What's going on?" So, and then from there, the guy that does all my financial planning, Peter Dagone, he's the founder of Keurig. Like, totally different. Bill Baum, he was the CTO of REI, and so he ran, $100 million build contracts for REI, and I think the other one was West Marine. He's my new CTO. I have, let's see, Hans von Putten, creator and founder of 40th and L, Steve Moores. We just have a lot of people from outside the industry that I really like, put a great team together.
But with the experience to make this thing happen.
Yeah. That was the big thing. Like Brian Park, he's my general counsel. He was with the True Car guy, founder. Went through a bunch of rounds with him, raised the capital, and now he's my general counsel. There's just been like building that team before I launched it was like huge to me. And plus it brings a lot of validity to what I'm doing, because if these guys see the opportunity, who isn't going to see the opportunity of the product being successful? Apple made a run at it, Apple HomeKit. I don't know if you remember that, but it flopped.
Not impressed.
Nobody was impressed because, again, it wasn't their products. They had the kit, and then you had to add this, you had to add that. We were looking for something that literally people understood. Like, if you're a health nut, my wife's a health nut. She wanted to know what our water, what's coming out of our drinking water.
Sure.
Does the Halo work? Come to find out, I was blown away how well the Halo.
The Remy Halo?
No, Halo water.
Oh, gotcha.
The water filtration system. We put one in my house, and I have like phenomenal water. It's like 95% excellent. It's really good, and nobody's ever monitored it real time. Nobody's ever monitored water real time. They have like the city. Like the city of Irvine, Costa Mesa, Laguna Beach, and all them. They come out in front of my office and they test the water. And how they test it is they have a guy that drives down in a truck once a week, and he grabs like your pool kit basically, collects the water, drives it back to the city, and then they have guys that test the water there. I was down there one day and I'm going, "Are you guys serious? This is how you guys test the water?" "Yeah." "This is how you test if it's drinkable?" "Yeah." What is going on? Like that makes no sense. So cities haven't done this. Let's see, homeowners insurance. This is a huge play for homeowners insurance. Home warranty companies, huge play for home warranty companies. Talk to SoCal Edison, Texas Power and Electric. Those type players out there, they want this. Because they want to know why my house is $3,000 a month for utilities, and the house right next door, same size, is $1,000 a month. Well, they can look and go, hey, and you got to opt into it to allow them to do it. But here's the thing, they'll pay 100% for the system to be put in your house, and they can't control it. Remember those old ones where they can turn off your air conditioner at certain times of the day? You can't turn it off. But they can get the information to figure out. But so they'll pay for it to be installed.
So it's subsidizing through utility companies. Interesting.
State Farm, all your insurance companies are going to be the same way because they want it in because it's going to save floors, it's going to save roofs, it's going to save. There's so many different avenues to play with it. Like I said, our main avenue is going directly to the contractor, and you got to be a legit contractor. We're literally, because it's very easy to set up, so you can't fudge the system. It's not one of those. But also, we want to carry the brand properly. It's not expensive. So we want it to be like a luxury brand, just without the luxury price. I'm not trying to say I'm Apple or anything like that, but it really should be a price point where everybody can afford it. And we're talking with some leasing companies to where we can get the price point. If somebody doesn't want to pay for it, it's $30 a month, whatever it is. And there is an app fee. So there is a $9 app fee.
$9 a month.
$9 a month for the app fee, which is great about that for contractors. And if you're a salesperson, $3 goes back to you, the contractor. So that was Steve. Steve was like, we call it mailbox money, right? We wanted something that incentivized the guys to keep those clients happy, keep the people on it, and so forth. And so $9 a month, $3 goes back directly to the contractor until that customer cancels. So that's, one of the biggest players that we were talking with. He has 56,000 clients on maintenance contracts right now. And he's doing the math in his head, and he's like, when can I get them all? Because it pays him for himself. And then we start talking some contractors are like, yeah, that's great for me, the owner. And I'm like, well, why don't you split it? Give half to your technicians, half to you. Work something out. But it was mainly, for me, I was thinking along the lines of the technicians get it. Because, again, I was a tech. I know what it's like to struggle. I know.
So, these are all this sounds really cool, and I definitely want to get my hands on one of them.
Yeah.
And the proof is in the pudding, right? Once you get your hands on it, you hook it up, you see what it is, then you're either sold or you're not. But what was your childhood like? Did you have these types of ideas of just innovating things as a kid, or?
I was a dumbass kid. I made a lot of dumb mistakes growing up, and I mean, you can talk to everybody in my family and friends. I was the kid that was always just getting into trouble. But growing up, I knew. So once I started getting older, and actually it was my first mentor, Lou Snavely, showed me there's so much more out there. And then I started thinking, man, you could do this. And I started really thinking down the path. I don't know if you've ever seen attic crawlers. Mm-hmm. I thought about that years before they came out because, I always had apprentices falling through ceilings and stuff like that. So I was like, what if I take a piece of aluminum, strap it to my knee pads, and then I'm crawling across attics. They got to be 26 inches or so. And then they came out with them. Then I thought about, literally bucket buddies. I've always the one thing about me, I've always thought outside the box. And I was one of those kids that, and my mom will tell you this, I have my 4-year-old also, I was always good with, and this is going to sound bad, but playing with myself. In my room, I'd build Legos and that type of stuff, read books. My 4-year-old, that's all he does. He sits in his room by himself. He'll just, where'd KJ go? And he's up in his room building stuff. So I think that's a little bit of it. I wanted to create this run right now is to create a legacy for my kids' and it's not the money side of it. It's I wanted something that, hey, my kids can remember Grandpa did this.
Something to be proud of.
Yeah. Because, it's one of those things that I don't know how to explain it. When I started this project, I that's the first thing that popped in my head. I figured out something that nobody else has done. This is going to be a legacy. This is a legacy play. So when it comes to my childhood, man, I barely graduated high school. It's
goes to show you, right? That you can come up with some amazing ideas and you can get them executed and still have, you know, an upbringing of barely making it out of high school, right?
Yeah, and you know, you also have to have the right partner. I'll tell you right now, I've said this already twice, but my wife, I got to give it all to her. She has been like a support for me, because in front of people, I got to put on a smiley face, you know, and I got to be out there rah-rah and doing some stuff. And
but not every day is like that.
No, and I come home and I'll you know, recently she was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I heard you sigh," and I'm like, "Yeah." And she knows, and it's not easy for her because you know, she's got the kids running around and all this other stuff, but it literally, and then she, you know, gets me to go out on my 4-mile. It used to be runs, now it's walks. 4-mile walks. I got a dog, new puppy that can't run. He's just too big. So I go on these 4-mile walks in the morning, you know, 4:30, 5 a.m. in the morning, and just clear my head. And then she's the one that forced me to do that. She's like, "You need a time to reset. Whether it's at night, go at night, or whether it's in the morning. You just need time to reset." And this project, definitely you have to reset every day.
For sure.
There's, you know, dealing with attorneys and, you know, private equity, and, you know, big commercial guys and angel investors, and you know, the other thing is you get a lot of haters out there. I'm sure you see it on social media too. And I just kind of, you say it doesn't bother you, but it does.
It does.
It does. I don't give a shit what people say, but like literally it does. And
it bothers you less if you don't read the comments.
Yes, that's a Joe Rogan thing, you know. Yeah, and you know, but usually somebody goes, "Hey, did you see this?"
Yeah,
and I'm like, ugh. And you know what? At the end, 99% of the time, I'll respond, "Hey, I hope you had a great 4th," or "Hey, congratulations on all your success." Kill them with kindness.
For sure.
Like it doesn't bother me.
I think it's important to remember that anybody who is going to ridicule you or try to pull you down is somebody who's doing less than you.
Yeah.
Right? Because anybody who's doing better things than you or is in a better position than you, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be the ones to push you and encourage you and lift you up and be like,
yeah,
"Man, that's a great idea, dude. You should really follow through with that," right? Or maybe even like, "That's a great idea. Let me introduce you to so-and-so," right? Those are the people who you want to surround yourself with. But anybody who's just trolling in the comment section, dude, they're usually not doing anything in life. They're sitting in their mom's basement.
Yep.
You know, they're just keyboard warriors. And we live in I think Mike Tyson said it well when he said, you know, we live in a day and age where like, you don't get punched in the mouth for the stuff that you say over the internet. Like, that's the problem, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? Like you said, surround yourself with good people for one, but successful people too. And I've made my circle very tight now with this project. And, you know, this guy, Alan Davenport, me and him met on a project in Newport Beach. He's very successful. I won't get into numbers, but he's probably one of the most successful guys I've ever met in my life. And that's saying a lot. He has shown me another light to things. He saw me as a contractor pulling up in my big dually, jumping out in a suit. He's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And I walk over, and we were doing a crane at his house, putting on a new chase cap. And he starts saying something to me, and I just said, "Oh, yeah, I'm the owner of HG Home Services." And he's like, "Oh, you dress like this as a contractor?" I go, "Yeah, you know, I kind of catch people off guard." We just hit it off, and we became really close. I was just out in Charlotte with him, and he's literally that guy that you go, this guy's at a level way above everybody else. But he'll walk up to the landscaper and be like, "Hey, how you doing, George?" Like, just start talking to him. And he knows everybody. Nothing's above him. Very humble. And that just shows me, like, good people like that. Like, I surround myself with people like that now.
For sure.
And I've always tried to, but it's hard, especially in the trades. We got a lot of knuckleheads out there. But, like, I surround myself with good people, and I've noticed such a change in my own self and how I interact with people, but also business-wise. I'm at a level where I'm dealing with people that I never thought I would. Like, truthfully, I'm not going to name drop, but like some of the people I deal with now it's just very insane to me. And it's because of guys like him that made a great introduction for me. And next thing I know, I'm talking with these guys all the time. I just helped one of them. I put on my social media, hey, anybody in Connecticut, or was it Connecticut? Might have been the Hamptons, can do an HVAC system for me, please.
Did you get somebody?
Yeah.
Okay, I say I got somebody.
Which was awesome because like literally got somebody. He owns a major HVAC company, but he's the PE side, so he's just like, I didn't want to deal with it. And he had 2 companies, Bubba's come out, and they just did Bubba stuff to him. Sends me an email and says, hey, what do you think of these 2 contracts? And I look at them and I'm like, let me get you somebody. Hold on. I guarantee I can find somebody that will shoot you in the right direction. My guys that I sent out there, I think there were 30,000 more, and he went with them, and he calls me up and goes, thank you. Now I see what professional is about. Like that, like night and day difference.
Well, a lot of HVAC guys, a lot of guys in the trade are afraid to charge what they want to charge, right? Because they think that, and for good reasoning, like the customers are going to shop, right? But man, if you present yourself well, you present what you do well, why would they not spend more, right? And people try to argue with me all the time. It's like, dude, I used to teach this stuff for Lennox, right? Yeah. And I can walk in and I can outsell you and spend $10,000 and get this customer to spend $10,000 more, right? And some people are just like, there's just no way. There's just no way. And it's just like, because of that mindset that you have, you'll never do it.
Yep.
Right?
That's 100% true, man. You wouldn't believe how many times I been out to clients, even here, and dealing with a general contractor, and they're like, oh, well, our budget's, $100,000 for HVAC. The house is 30,000 square feet. Where are you getting this $100,000 from, for one? 2, don't use us. And then the homeowners that are building the home will call us directly and go around the contractor and then spend $500,000 to $1 million with us directly.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. And like I was telling you before that we started this, we're big on Spaceback. I love Spaceback. And that's what set us apart from everybody is like everybody's afraid to charge those numbers. But if you show them a product that's superior and solves a lot of problems, the people will pay for it. They really will. But, the guy that I had this work done for, he was just like blown away. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. And I think, like you said, people are afraid of the numbers and they don't give options. I've always been the guy that just had no fear. This happened in my house the other day. We're getting all our plumbing sleeved. Well, we wanted to get a second opinion, so we have this other company, plumber, come out. And I'm standing outside with one plumbing company waiting for this other guy. And this plumbing company drives through, no logos on their trucks or anything. Slows down in front of my house. I live in the back of a cul-de-sac. Slows down and then drives away. And I'm like, what? Maybe that could have been him. So I send the owner a text saying, hey, are you guys coming? He's there. No, he's not. So then he calls his tech, and his tech tells him we're out there. So the owner of the plumbing company calls me back and goes, oh, we don't go there. You got somebody out there. This is like a setup or anything. I'm like, this plumbing company is out there on his own time to show you all the clean out so you can go through it. So you don't have to spend the time because I don't know where all these things are at. There's tons on my house. And, he's going to leave. As soon as he shows him, I'll make him leave. Oh, okay. Later on that day, I'm still with the other plumbing company, the one that drove by, and I'm talking to this kid, and I said, why did you drive by? He's all, well, because the owner doesn't like confrontation, blah, blah, blah. I go, let me teach you something, bud. And I went through the whole thing. I got a kick out of, one, if somebody pulled up and had the audacity to walk in on me while I'm trying to pitch something, I loved it. Because you know what? I'm going to teach them something. Or I pull up and I get out and I see them talking with the client. knock on the door. Hey, do you mind if I sit in? I want to learn something. I just, there's always something different out there. I'd sit in and listen to the pitch. You're doing two different things there. One, you're intimidating the other guy for sitting there.
Yeah.
But two, I would grandstand for that when I was out there selling. Like, I would be the guy going, oh, well, have you ever heard of this? And then I'd show him bigger stuff, better stuff. And the guy would be like, what's he going to charge for this system? And I've taught that my entire career. Like, hey, if you see another company out in front of the house, don't drive by. Stop, get out, make sure your shirt's tucked in, you're going up there with gloves, booties, and you knock on the door and you ask, hey, is it all right if I sit in? I would like to learn a little bit. What are they going to tell you? No? Okay, I'll go wait.
You never know.
But
if you handle the situation differently than the average person would, then...
And the homeowner likes it. The homeowner's going, this guy knows his stuff. He's not afraid.
Or this guy's got some balls.
The right client will go, fuck, I like this guy. But it's, our trade is like, it's funny because, you hear a lot of people out there saying, I'll teach you this or I'll teach you that. Come to my class for, $10,000, whatever it is. Out of the goodness of my heart, I'm doing this for you. No, you're making money off it, dude. You're making money off it. Now, how many times have you really went out and sold, $5 million a year? How many times you really went out? Do you know how to wire up a heat pump? Do you know how to wire up, a three-phase system? Do you know what, a turbo cap is? Like, there's guys out there that I hear preaching this stuff. Like, some of the guys own big, successful businesses, or some of them sold these big businesses. They wouldn't know what the parts are.
Yeah. And
that's what gives us a bad rap, for one. But two, I feel like, if you're really saying you're here for the trades, be there for the trades. I'm an open book, like I said at the beginning. You can DM me, and I'll call you back, and I'll walk you through it. There's a couple guys out there that I stay connected with through social media, and if they ever need anything, they shoot me text messages, whatever. And I give guys jobs all the time because we only handle a 5-mile radius in Newport Beach. So we've, in the past probably 2 months, I've probably got about 15 DMs from people that follow me, but they're not from the trade, asking if I'll come service their house, or if somebody from my company, of course. And no, but I do have a good guy. And I'll go through my Rolodex real quick, find out who the good guys were.
And that's the way it should be. That's the camaraderie that we should have within the trade.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
And unfortunately, it's not that way.
Everybody wants to be the puffer fish in our trades. Yeah. And
then they're not even that good. It's the guys who are acting like that, or the guys who aren't very good.
It drives me insane. So I'll tell you, since we haven't talked about HVAC God, the moniker started when I was probably 19 years old. And everybody thinks when they see HVAC God, they think, oh, this guy's got a big head.
Right.
And you know the story, but I'll tell it real quick again. Walking across the parking lot at 1 Hour Service Experts, and there was a service technician. Remember, Got Jesus bumper stickers?
Yep.
The service tech, he was a friend of mine. It said Got Jesus on the back of his truck, and we used to just joke around all the time. And I said, so you think you're Jesus? He's like, I'm that good. And I'm like, well, if you're Jesus, I'm God. Because he was a service tech. I was an installer at the time. And fast forward 6 months, 5 months, whatever it was, he got me the license plate. Now, fast forward 2016, my wife goes, you should trademark, copyright, incorporate that name. But yeah, that's what it was. It was always a joke. And it was always meant to be funny. So a lot of people that's
like Gary McCready, HVAC know-it-all.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of people will come in, oh, you don't know. I'm like, dude, relax. And to this day, I'll tell people, hey, if you got challenges with communicating systems or something like that, don't call me. Don't bother me. Call my son. He knows that stuff. He like the back of his hand, but don't bother me, because I'll tell you, dude, I have no clue. I can get through the basics, but I'm not a genius at it.
What I've learned is that there's a difference between being able to do something and being proficient at something.
Yes.
So when you're not doing it every day, I'm not in the field like I used to be. And when I do go in the field, I'm just like, I have to stop and think about a few things. You know what I mean?
Chat GPT now. I'll tell you right now. So I use that a lot to do research. And my son, he was telling me a story last night. So he's a big time gamer, loves gaming, and he needed to get his computer, his hard drive fixed or whatever, and he had hired some guys to do it. They didn't complete it, so he just went and bought the boards. And then he thought, since he knows so much, he thinks he could put it back together very easily. Well, the boards are, his system was like 3 years old, 4 years old, and the boards that he has now are newer, so there's different pins, plugs, whatever. And I'm always telling him you should use ChatGPT. If you're going to send something to one of our clients and it doesn't look right, it will kind of break it down for you. So he literally started sending it pictures of what he was building, and it's ChatGPT tells him, this is this, and this is what you need to plug it into. And then he ended up rebuilding it all within an hour. He said he could have figured it out, but using that, it's
been a great tool.
My point of telling you that is like literally that's what we're doing for homeowners. And I'm not trying to circle it all the way back to home gardening, but that like we want something that is as easy as that. And there's a lot of people that still haven't used it. You're nuts if you haven't used it. From sending emails to text messages to if you want to be very professional and word it a certain way where you're not trying to be argumentative, but you also want to build it to where you can put in there what you want and then it will format it for you,
for sure.
Right? And using it for all aspects of your life now, like I use it a lot for like, I have so many people on my team now and they'll send me something and I'm like, all right, this is so high level. I need to drill down into this, and I'll put like a massive spreadsheet in there. And I say, break it down for me. What's this telling me? Because I don't want to spend, 3 days trying to figure out like what's this, what's that, and it spits it out. Here's the high level. It's good, and I think that the younger techs should really put it on their phones and start learning more. My son, the way he learned the trade was YouTube and social media, Instagram. I didn't want him I was that guy, and now I preach to everybody, no, get your kids into it. But I was that guy because I wanted him to go off. He graduated with a 4.3, go off to college, but he didn't know what he wanted to do. So when he came to work for me, I said, dude, you're not going to learn from me. I'm not going to teach you the technical side. Go and figure it out yourself. And that's how he figured it out. He just started watching YouTube videos and, your social media. I started pointing out.
If you have a desire to learn, that's all you need, right? The resources are there. The desire will lead you down these paths and you just go, oh, YouTube's a great resource. HVAC School is a great resource. Gary McCready is a great resource, right? Craig Migliaccio is a great resource. Like there's so many great resources out there. It's just a matter of if you want it, it's there. And if you don't want it, then it's not going to happen.
And how exciting is that? Because I didn't have that.
Neither did I.
I burnt up so much shit growing up and
that's the way it was.
Killed
dude.
coils and fried boards but like it is. There's so much out there, and if you're there, like you named some of the names, but there's so many good guys out there that you can literally shoot a DM to, and they're not just sitting there looking at their DMs all day long, but
they'll get back to you.
They'll get back to you, and they will help. And those are the guys that I like. I like the newer generation that's out there willing to help. And there's a lot of them out there. There's the guys that flex all their nice cars and house, all this stuff, and saying HVAC did it for me. I don't know if that's so true. There's a certain amount that HVAC did for them, but they also raped, robbed, and pillaged some people for that.
It's possible.
And then when they come back to, we're giving back to the community, I'm here for you, and then they put on a show and it's $10,000 to show up and listen to some guy do a rah-rah speech. That's not giving back. If you're really at that level, do it for free then.
Yeah.
Or do it for, cost or whatever.
Put your money where your mouth is, right?
Yeah, if you're at that level, and it's funny because recently, I started talking about home gardening more and more, and, it's only been a month and a half or so where I really started putting it out there. It's really funny because the people that were my haters now are trying to get involved. And some of them are big players. And I'm just kind of like,
No soup for you.
One of my favorite episodes. Yeah. It's just kind of like, you should have watched your mouth.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. And I'm not a grudgeful guy, but I don't need that. And I don't need bad people in my life.
For sure.
And there's so many good people in our trades that, we can all learn from. And I learn every day from all the younger guys. We have a really young crew at HG Home Services. And, I think our oldest guy is maybe 28. No, I just hired a guy that's 40. But all the younger guys, though, we literally, I learn from them. It's good. I think that's where we need to be. And
well, everybody can learn from everybody. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the experience level, right? Somebody young and brand new in the trade is going to be able to teach an old guy something, whether it be some cool app on the phone, maybe a new techie tool, whatever the case may be, right? I think really what it boils down to is, are you willing to put your ego aside and learn from somebody that you never thought that you could learn anything from?
Yeah.
So that's really what it boils down to.
What do you think is the biggest thing that's happened to the trades in the past 2 years?
That's happened as far as a plus?
Yeah, that's something that somebody's brought to the trades, or something that's been exciting for you, or something like that. I'm always curious to hear.
From a product standpoint, I don't know. I would say maybe technology with tools probably would be the coolest thing. But I think really breaking it down, the best thing that's happened to the trade over the last 2 years has been the community that's been built on social media. So
yeah.
Because what it does is it brings the industry together, right? And now all these guys who would have never connected, right, have built incredible friendships, have built incredible businesses, right? Because they partner together. People are doing really cool stuff. And well, you and I, right? Like we connected over social media, like long time ago, right? Like 6 years ago or something like that. I think the community itself, there's a lot of really cool things that happen when you can put ego aside and people get together, right? We all become of one mind, if you will, and then we just start throttling, right? And when we can do that, the industry begins to change as a whole. And now we have an incredible amount of power to do whatever we want to do. That's really cool.
And that's what one of the things, I'm glad you said that, because one of the things that it's not just the owners of the businesses anymore that have the control. It's the influencers. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of these business owners, need to recognize that lately. Like, I am definitely coming, talking about a new product to the market, but those influencers will have a big say-so in that. They might have a company with like 3 people, 4 people. That shouldn't matter. It's more like, hey, if it works and it does what you're saying it's going to do, let us play with it. Okay, cool. Take one. And then put it out there. Like I get all the time, I'm sure you get more, you have a lot more followers than me and that type of stuff, but I get it all the time where people give me products and they want to pay me to promote them. And the first thing out of my mouth is always like, email typically, hey, you know what? Send me your products that you want me to look at. If I don't play with them, my son will. He'll tell me good, bad, or indifferent, and then we'll talk about promoting them. But I'm not going to promote something that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And, as of late, I've gotten quite a few, and I'm like, dude, I'm never putting that out there. There's no way. I'm sorry. But I don't badmouth them either. I just let them hey, here's what's going on. You hit the nail on the head. There's this social media thing. And it's funny because when I first started talking about, and I put a promo video out there between all my platforms, within, I want to say 2 weeks, we got 2 million views. And I was like, without promoting it, I was like, wow.
What would it have cost you to get 2 million eyeballs on that product without?
Yeah. And when I started showing people, and you can see, and you can see your back-end analytics, you can see it got shared this many times. I'm like, I want to know who's sharing it, but that's just me doing it. Now let me put it into your hands. Let me put it into some of these other guys' hands. I know what it can do. I look at some of these guys on social media that I'm just in awe. and they're younger guys than me. I always say I'm the best installer still to this day in the trades, period, bar none. And then I look on social media, I'm like, son of a gun, these things look like NASA. I don't want to say that anymore.
I'm a nobody.
yeah, what happened, man? Like, I'm still using, my double cuts and like the stuff that I see out there. I'm so happy and delighted. Like, I tell so many people to go on certain social media pages to look at the installs, because that's what big
the
thing.
Pride of the craft is back, right?
Yeah.
And again, that's just what we're seeing. It's not like across the entire trade, right? But I think that is like the wave, right, that begins to build up, and then now all of a sudden we reignite the trade of like, hey, I really want to be a master of my craft. Like, the mastering of crafts is a thing of the past.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of my biggest pushes is whatever it is you do. I don't care what it is. I don't care what the trade is. I don't care where you work. I don't care if you're flipping hamburgers for a living. Be the best that you can possibly be. And that's my big thing.
So I always tell this to my entire career. I always told this to my technicians or installers, and I said, I learned this a long time ago. If I get paid to do something, that makes me a professional. So you look at, legendary Kobe. He signed everything, right? Autographs. So I tell my technicians, autograph your equipment. If you're a professional, you get paid, I pay you to install, I pay you to do this service. You should, the back of the panel, put your signature and date. I know there's equipment still out there that I put in years and years ago that have I started doing that in my early 20s. Autographed every time I touched a piece of equipment. Well, let me back up. If I replaced something on the equipment or I installed it, because I took pride in it. And that's what you're saying, some of the stuff is overkill.
For sure.
But I love it.
It's for aesthetics. I love
I
it too.
love seeing it, because I'm like,
I love it
dude,
too.
That's taken so much pride, and it's taken it to another level. I don't know how long some of those installs take, and sometimes my guys will like, oh, look I followed this guy and this is what happened. So look what I did. I'm like, now I know why the job took 2 days.
Yeah, and we're 500 over on material.
Yeah, because it is cool though. It's that professionalism.
For sure.
It's everything about like.
It's a splash of wow.
The wow factor. There you go. It's the wow factor. I love seeing that. It could be a tankless water heater. It could be, putting in a turbo cap, and they put it in so nice that it's like, good. That's what we lost that somewhere along the way. We lost it, and now it's coming back hard. Like in the past 2 years. That's why I was asking. 2 years. Social media has put people on blast so much that good, bad, or indifferent.
You can't get away with stuff anymore.
No, and there's a lot of guys that have ghost accounts and all this other stuff,
sure.
and they'll post stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, what? But it should be out there. I don't think that people should put them on blast, but here's how I tell it. Like my son did a bad post one time. I said, dude, take that down. Here's what you do. Instead of doing that, take the photo and go, look, this is how I found it. This is how it should be done, and make the corrections. And good try. Next time you should try this, this, and this. Or if you're going to comment on somebody's post, that's like, it should be constructive criticism
100%.
versus, oh, look at this hack. Or,
Yeah.
there's what's the website? HVAC hacks.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's so cringy.
If I have something to say to somebody based off of one of their posts, I'll usually DM it to them and not put it in the comment section.
That's me.
Yeah. So because I have a level of respect, right? Now how you receive that, that's on you. You know what I mean? And then I'll kind of determine whether I need to back off and just be done with it or not. But
that's that thing. That's the thing we're missing, is the level of respect. Our trades are phenomenal, dude. I mean, all the main trades are phenomenal. It's only going to get better over the next few years. AI and machine learning, they're not going to be able to install and do all this other stuff. But there is new things that are coming down the pipeline. I mean, we're right next to, did you see Anadrol? Anadrol, that's Palmer Luckey's place that builds like all the new military spec, like warheads and like, like insane. Like he has drones. He's the guy that created Oculus.
Oh,
But it's like 3 blocks of buildings, and it's very high secured. But
it should be.
yeah, he's one of those guys that like thought outside the box all along. Like when you see him in Newport, he's wearing like Tommy Bahama's button-up shirt and cut-off shorts and flip-flops with a mullet. You're like, who's that guy? Oh, that guy's worth a lot.
And respect him; he'll blow the place up.
But he took that whole. So he makes like robots and so forth, and he takes that and literally put it out there on Sean Ryan's podcast about, look, the trades are pretty secure. Things like that are pretty secure at least for 15, 20 years because we're not going to be able to build robots to do this type of stuff. And then
it'd be cool to have a robot lift a unit into an attic space
and walk it up for you or something. Yeah, but there's certain aspects of it that they're not going to be able to do for 30 years down the line. So, you know, I think what I get from podcasts most of the time is I think that and what I try and share is everybody should just be open and honest with each other, and like, yeah, you're going to have the haters, but you should also make corrections and try and adjust.
For sure.
I mean, you
got to be able to pivot, and you got to be able to pivot quickly.
Yeah.
So
that's for sure.
Yeah. We're about out of time.
Yeah.
But I'm really want to dig into the Home Guardian product. So if I can get my hands on one, that'd be awesome. But where would somebody go if they wanted more information on that?
hghomeguardian.com or DM me. I can send you some information. Yeah.
DM you on
HVAC God.
On Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. Yeah, I'm so used to Instagram. I mean, I play with TikTok a lot. I play with all of them a lot, but like, I'm terrible with Facebook. I don't understand the algorithms. It's gotten so political on there. I
hear you, man.
It's like I get nothing out of there anymore. So it used to do very well, and then I think when political things started happening, it just kind of went away.
Yeah.
So
I check out. I'm done.
Yeah, I Instagram's been great to me. Yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you meeting me, and
thanks for coming out, man.
Thanks for chatting.
I've missed it. What, 3 years now?
What's that? The show?
The show.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
I know. I was on your second one.
We miss you.
I've been, and I'll tell you right now. I know I go to that the past 3 years. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing the whole entire time. That's why I literally haven't been to any shows for 3 years. I haven't done anything for 3 years, just because I've been trying to keep this under wraps.
So maybe you can debut it in Vegas.
Yeah. I think I probably will.
Sweet.
So.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
All right.
This episode of Behind the Mindset has been brought to you by We Supply Trades. Visit WeSupplyTrades.com for more information.